If I asked you today, in the 4.6 billion years of Earth's history, what was the absolute largest carnivorous dinosaur to ever exist? Your first reaction is probably that famous tyrant, the T-Rex. Even hardcore dinosaur fans might blurt out, Giganotosaurus or Carcharodontosaurus. But you'd all be wrong. What if I told you that on the African continent during the Cretaceous period, a true prehistoric monster roamed? Its maximum length soared to an astonishing 15 meters. That's nearly 3 meters longer than the largest, bulkiest T-Rex ever found, Scotty. Weighing in at nearly 10 tons, it stood like a 4-story mobile fortress, carrying a massive 1.6 meter tall bony sail on its back. But here comes the most jaw-dropping plot twist. This ultimate killing machine, whose size crushed the T-Rex, actually had a pitifully weak bite force. It even struggled to walk normally on land. In fact, it had stubby little legs. Its main gig wasn't slaughtering everything on land. It was a full-time fisherman that spent its days soaking in the water. Hard to believe, right? Today, we're going to expose the most insane, plot-twisting, and tragic superstar in paleontology, the Spinosaurus. Get ready, because I am about to completely shatter every epic illusion you have about this beast. When you mention Spinosaurus, you can't ignore the 2001 movie Jurassic Park 3. In that film, Spinosaurus is the absolute god of war. It shows up with max-level intimidation and snaps a T-Rex's neck with a single bite. But what if these two clashed in reality? Sorry, but the T-Rex has a terrifying bite force of 8 tons with thick, banana-like teeth built for armor-piercing and bone-crushing. The Spinosaurus's bite force was a fraction of that. Its mouth was full of conical, slender teeth that couldn't withstand a violent struggle. On land, a T-Rex would absolutely wipe the floor with it. Even worse, every time the scientific community updates the image of Spinosaurus, it brutally slaps Hollywood in the face. For the longest time, we thought it was just a T-Rex with a giant sail on its back, sprinting across the land on 2 long legs. But in 2014, paleontologist Nazar Ibrahim and his team published new fossil evidence, and scientists worldwide were stunned. This guy's hind legs were surprisingly short. Its center of gravity was pushed way forward. If it tried to sprint on 2 legs like a T-Rex, it would instantly faceplant into the mud. Furthermore, scientists discovered its bone density was absurdly high. In paleontology, this is called osteosclerosis. Today, only diving animals like penguins and manatees have this feature, acting as ballast to help them sink. What does this mean? It means if a Spinosaurus fell into the water, it couldn't even float like a normal dinosaur. It would sink straight to the bottom. Then, in 2020, came the ultimate plot twist. In Morocco, scientists excavated a perfectly intact Spinosaurus tail. Everyone was shocked to find that this tail wasn't a stiff, cylindrical counterbalance like a T-Rex's. It was a broad, flat, paddle-like structure, just like a modern crocodile or an eel. The case was finally closed. We once thought it was the god of the land, but it turns out it's the very first non-avian dinosaur proven to be highly adapted to aquatic life. If the T-Rex was a heavy main battle tank on land, the Spinosaurus was a prehistoric nuclear submarine lurking in the abyss. You might be asking, why would the largest carnivorous dinosaur on Earth give up the vast land and humiliate itself as a stubby-legged fisherman? The answer is simple: it was forced to. Spinosaurus lived 95 million years ago in North Africa, in a place paleontologists call the most dangerous place in the history of the Earth, the Kem Beds. In this vast system of mangrove swamps and rivers, 13-meter-long Carcharodontosaurus and brutal Abelisaurids roamed the shores. The survival quota on land was maxed out. The competition was a bloodbath. To survive, Spinosaurus chose a different path. It went straight into the water. It left the land prey behind and claimed all the juicy meat in the rivers for itself. And the fish Spinosaurus caught weren't your average carp or trout. The Cretaceous rivers of North Africa were teeming with giant, 8-meter-long sawfish with snouts full of barbs, and prehistoric coelacanth the size of small cars. Spinosaurus's daily meals were deep-water monsters that rivaled modern great white sharks in size. Its built-in gear was tailor-made for fishing. Its slender lower jaw was like a row of dense harpoons. Once they pierced slippery fish scales, the prey had zero chance of escaping. What's even more terrifying is that Spinosaurus didn't even need its eyes to fish. Scientists scanned its skull and found the very tip of its extremely long snout was packed with thousands of tiny pits. These pits connected to a highly developed trigeminal nerve network, functioning exactly like the pressure receptors on a modern crocodile's face. This means that even if the Cretaceous river water was completely muddy with zero visibility, all Spinosaurus had to do was dip its long snout into the water. Acting like a built-in sonar radar, it could accurately sense the faintest millimeter of vibration in the water, instantly lock onto prey in its blind spot, and secure a one-hit kill. Hearing this, you must think it's absurd. How could scientists get such a massive dinosaur so completely wrong, fooling us for a full 100 years? This brings us to the tragic cinematic history of its discovery. Rewind to 1912. German paleontologist Ernst Stromer, battling sandstorms and extreme heat in the Egyptian Sahara, excavated the world's first and at the time most complete Spinosaurus holotype fossil. Nobody had ever seen a monster with a massive sail over a meter high on its back. Once shipped to Munich, the fossil sent shockwaves across Europe, but no one could have guessed that what would
在上
destroy
映
it
2
wasn't a
天
meteor
前，
from
美
millions of
军
years
分别
ago,
向日
but
本广
human
岛和
warfare.
长崎
In
投放了2颗
1944,
原子弹。
World War
此
II
纪
was
录
at its
片
peak.
在美国
Allied
上映
bombers
1周
turned
后，
Munich into a sea of fire. Stromer begged the museum director to move this priceless treasure to a safe
世界大
underground
战
bunker,
也由此
but he
走
was
向了
flatly
最
rejected. Ultimately, amidst deafening explosions, this one-of-a-kind Spinosaurus holotype, along with the entire museum, was reduced to ashes in the flames. Stromer lost not only his life's work in the war but also his 2 sons. For more than half a century afterward, because no new complete fossils could be found, paleontologists worldwide had to rely on a few hand-drawn sketches and yellowed photographs left by Stromer, frantically trying to imagine what Spinosaurus looked like. It wasn't until the recent fossil discoveries in Morocco that we finally pieced together its true appearance. You could say without that damn war, human understanding of the Spinosaurus would have advanced by at least 60 years. From god of war to abyssal submarine, from a stunning debut to being incinerated by war, Spinosaurus shows us just how crazy the evolution of life can be, and bears witness to the unpredictability of human history. But even today, the Spinosaurus still harbors an ultimate mystery that has the scientific community fiercely debating. What exactly was that giant, 1.6 meter tall bony sail on its back used for? Some say it was a solar panel to quickly raise its body temperature in cold water. Some say it was a stabilizer, acting like a boat sail to help it balance in turbulent rivers. Others think it was purely a giant billboard, used to show off to mates during mating season. Look how big my sail is, look how strong I am. This is the charm of paleontology. You never know what paradigm-shifting truth the next swing of the geological hammer will uncover. So, what do you think that exaggerated giant sail on the Spinosaurus's back was used for? Drop your craziest theories in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm your host, and we'll keep digging in the next